We are very excited, Mace Security International, being here in this building. It is a combination of a lot of hard work from my chairman of the board, Mr. Richard Barone, who is the majority shareholder of Mace Security International. He brought me on about 20 months ago to kind of really build out the company and build out a vision of this company for the future, which is really being the #1 brand in safety and security. And with all of your help and all of the help of the county and the city, we will be able to achieve that. I just want to talk briefly, and I'm going to turn it over first to Mr. Ed FitzGerald, our county executive, who will say a few words.
Good morning. We're very happy to be here this morning and to be part of this project. We think it's a great success story. It's an exciting day, obviously, for this company and for John and his team, but it's also exactly the kind of project that we like to invest in. It has all the ingredients that we like to see. They're hiring local people. They're paying good wages. It's a global brand that's helping the greater Cleveland area compete all over the world. We're happy about that. We have a variety of partners that we brought together from the private sector and the public sector. So we're working with the city of Cleveland to relocate jobs here. This is about the 1,000th job that we've added in the last year or so from our economic development programs that we started a couple years ago, but that's just what we've done so far this year. We set up something when we started the new county form of government a couple years ago. We set up something called the Western Reserve Fund. We basically made government smaller and more efficient, and then we took some of the proceeds and put it into the largest economic development fund of its kind of any city or county in Ohio. And we ended up making an investment into this facility, about $650,000, which has gone into the purchase and renovation of the roughly 49,000 square foot facility that you see behind us. So not only are we creating jobs, not only are we working with local businesses and expanding local businesses, not only are local people being hired, but it's also helping to revitalize an important part of Cleveland's commercial corridor here on Carnegie Avenue. So we're very happy to be here and be part of this success story. You know, the biggest share of the credit goes to the entrepreneurs and the investors and the workers that make this facility succeed on a daily basis. What government can do is to help. When there's a little bit more that needs to be done in order to make something really become a reality, that's when the city and the county can step up, and I'm happy that we're able to do that here today. So John, on behalf of Cuyahoga County, we're happy to be your partners in this, and we wish you much success. We're confident you will have much success in the coming years. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. And on behalf of the company, we really like to thank the county for not only what they've done for us, but what they've done for the region of Northeast Ohio. It's very exciting. Next, I'd like to introduce Tracy Nichols, who represent the mayor. And I also want to say we've met with the mayor privately, and he's done everything he can to help us to make sure that everything we needed was here. And we'd also like to thank all the police officers that are here. I know it's always hard being a police officer. I joke around a lot with my guys that worst thing that can happen to me is a paper cut during the day. These guys strap on a weapon to kind of protect us. So we do appreciate all of their support here today too. We also, on that note, Commander Johnson's son works here now, so we're very excited because he's been great and he's been helping us out in our filling room and our warehousing and making this happen. So with that, I'll turn it over to Tracy.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
First of all, on behalf of Mayor Frank Jackson, I want to say thank you all for being here today. I know the mayor wanted to be here personally. He got called away. So first of all, I want to welcome Mace to our business community here in the city of Cleveland. We think it's absolutely fantastic, and we've seen more and more that companies are making decisions to move to the city of Cleveland from all over the country. And it just talks about our workforce, our skilled workforce, our work ethic in the region, and in addition, our low cost of doing business here in the city of Cleveland. So we're very excited about it. It's going to bring a lot of new jobs. The mayor really wanted to make sure that we gave an incentive for this company to be here. It's important. It's a national brand, as the county executive said, and we're happy to participate in this project, and we welcome Mace to the business community. Thank you very much.
So next person I'd like to bring up, and then we'll leave the Asher family for last, is Terry Coyne.
Hi, thanks for coming. I just want to make sure that this was an enormous team effort, and we worked on it for I think a year and a half or 2 years. This is actually John's second company that he's moved back to Cleveland. He brought a company called Saeco about 10 years ago from New Jersey to Cleveland, so this is his second time. But this is a huge team effort, and I just want to make sure that I thank Arnold Lockett from the county. The county was unbelievable. Arnold was our point man. He moved at the speed of business. Tracy Nichols from the city of Cleveland was fantastic. I want to thank Rob Namey, who was the point for Weston, who did a lot of the day-to-day work. Chris Grabelny from Weston, who helped with the financing. Mike Plaspole, who helped with the job creation, tax credits. You know, most importantly, Richard Barone right here. He's the guy who a few years ago invested in Mace. I think he's today the largest shareholder. If he hadn't been the investor, he wouldn't have brought John, and they wouldn't have showed up here. Garnett Metter was the person who worked on the legal side and ran it for Mace. Carl Smith from Mace. Jessica for putting today together. You did a great job with the weather. TJ Asher, my partner, is their family's been in Cleveland since the 70s. I think they're the largest landlord, so they were in Cleveland before Cleveland was chic, and they're continuing to reinvest. And finally, John. John, it was his vision. He wanted to be in Cleveland. It was never a choice. He could have gone to the suburbs. He could have gotten a brand new building, but he wanted to be here, and I just want to thank him most of all. Thanks.
So lastly, as Terry said, I'd like to bring up TJ Asher and just a little bit about the Asher family. You couldn't meet a more ethical, hardworking, get-it-done team than Team Weston. And really, without TJ working hard, there was a couple of times we met at a deli when we didn't think the deal was going to work, that we kind of worked through what we needed to. And like he said, Rob Namey, who's back there, he's just shy of the cameras. Had done a tremendous job in the day-to-day to make sure things are happening. So with that, TJ Asher.
Well, thank you. And thanks everybody for coming out today. It is a beautiful day. So, just for starters, I wanted to take a second to kind of walk you through the project a little bit. When we were introduced to this property, it was in receivership and it was tied in with a bunch of other buildings. We knew what was going on in Midtown. We know the area pretty well, and we liked the building. We had very little information to work on because of its situation and where it was positioned. And we went to the receiver auction and down at the courthouse, and we walked out with a building that we really had no plan for at that moment in time. So you walk out of the auction, you're like, what the heck did we do? I'm not sure, if we did the right thing or not. But as it worked out, with our partner Terry, we were working with Mace on a totally different development. We were trying to acquire some land. We were going to try to build them a building. We had been developing plans for them, had gone through a couple renditions and whatnot. And at some point in time, I don't know who said it or when exactly it was said, but it's like, why don't we show them the building on Carnegie? Let's just show them that building. Let's see what happens. And we got John through the building, and it obviously this is what happened. 3 months ago, the inside of this building looked really bad. I mean, it was torn up, and there was a lot of things happening. And we had some time crunches because they started closing out in Vermont. They wanted to bring their stuff here, and there was a lot of moving parts all at one time. And the result of all that is why we're here today. I mean, that's why we're here. There was a lot of people that did a lot of work. The city, Tracy and her group were great to work with. Being able to introduce John to the city and have the city take it over and make their stuff happen. And the same with the county. Have Arnold and his group walk in with Mace and get that done. I mean, that was fantastic. And of course the Mace personnel. I mean, we couldn't have done it without Mace and John and his group. Again, John was very committed to the area. He wanted to have an impact, and he was, he's born and bred in Cleveland, and so were we. And it just made for a really nice marriage. There was never a doubt what he wanted to do. The deal had to get struck. It had to work for everybody, but there was never really a doubt. So that made it very exciting to work on. In closing, I just want to say thank you again to everybody. It's been a great project to work on. Mace has been a wonderful company to work with and get the deal done, and we really look forward to their continued success and that they prosper very well in this building. So thank you everybody for coming out.
So lastly, I'd also like to call up Councilman Purnell Jones, who we're very excited to be in his council. He came here today, and I think he has a resolution for us, which we will gladly accept.
On behalf of County Council and myself as the councilman of the Midtown neighborhood, I'd like to just welcome Mace Security Incorporated to the community. Really excited to have them here. We know this company has been around since the early 70s. They are bringing 47 new jobs to this community, and the community is excited about it. And I'll say this, not only does it make sense, logical sense for us to support Mace, but I've got a personal reason. And the personal reason is when I shared with my mother, my 75-year-old mother, that Mace was coming to the community, she said, "I've been using their products since you were little." and I
Not on you.
No, not on me. On my behalf. and I'll tell you briefly. First grade, I would walk to school, and there was a dog that would come out and bark at me. And they did that for 2 days in a row. Went home and told my mother, and she said, "I'll walk with you to school." She walked to school. When that dog came out, she made dog never bothered me again. so I have a deep emotional connection and a brand name that my family uses. And we're very excited to have Mace here and look forward to supporting you throughout the years. So I present this resolution on behalf of County Council.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Councilman Jones, and thank you to your mom for being a supporter. So lastly, I want to thank everybody for coming out. I know everybody's busy and it takes a lot, so we do appreciate you taking the time and making the effort to be here today. We also want to thank Channel 3, WKYC TV, who's done a lot of advertising, and we've been able to do some things. We were able to be one of the first companies at the Health Expo that they ran last year, which was very successful. Vivid Front, who does our web work. Also, Balance Product Design that did a lot of work with us. Togus, who we're working with on some new projects. All Cleveland companies that are based here are doing great things. Then also, I'd like to thank McCann DeGullis, who is Michael McCann, who's here somewhere, took a chance a couple years ago on becoming an EPA environmental specialty law firm, and he's grown his firm dramatically since that time when he left his company office and started a new venture. So we thank them because they did a lot of hard work on our behalf, especially Sarah Gable. So really, there's so many people you can thank, and my staff knows how hard they work, especially with everything they've done to get this done. But this is only the beginning for us. We envision ourselves as being the leader in safety and security and turning this into a $100 million brand, and we will do that in the near term. Lastly, the very last person I have to thank is my mom. She is in her 62 year here from Ireland, so she is kind of the true success story. She moved here as a 19-year-old from Ireland, raised 4 kids that all went to college. All of us have done very well, only because of their hard work in getting us to where we are today. So with that, if you can give a round of applause to my mom. My dad would be here, but he got called on to better things in 1992. So with that, I think we'll cut the ribbon. And thanks again for taking the time and being here. We really appreciate it.